FC is hard as hell. United, Tottenham, Arsenal. Watch my lips, and I will spell. Cause they don't just play, but they can rap as well. Liverpool FC.
Yes, people, we are back in full effect, virtual podcast and that. Come on, it's Anfield South boys. We've been gone a minute, but we're back. The quarantine had us locked down for a hot minute, but we're back in full effect. And as JR said to me before we started recording, it's not November, but I'm feeling my 70s mustache, so you get me? Leave me alone, JR. Anyway, man, let's get started, man. Boys, an interesting fact, boys. 30 years to the day since we last won the league title, man. And we returned.
That's fake.
Yeah,
it could be today, man.
Was you wearing that kit? Was you wearing that kit last time you won it?
Probably. Fucking hell.
That's 1983 or 4, I think.
Yeah.
But was you leaving school that when it came out, Paul?
Do you want to concentrate on being a productive member of the team, or are you going to start cussing us all night?
No, listen, boys. A few things to talk about here. Before we start getting into the football, let's talk about what we saw today, the leak of the supposed new kit. Man, talk to me about this new kit. JR, man, what are you thinking?
You know what, like, when I first saw it, I was like, no, what are they doing with the green? But I'm not going to lie, there was a picture, the last picture that came up, and it had like the badge that looked a bit like embroidered coming out. I was like, actually, you know what? That kind of turned me a little bit. I mean, you know, when we thought we was getting Nike, we saw like Paris's kit last year, the all white one, that one looked crazy, and the Nikes have got some crazy kits. So we was hoping that we would get like a runaway one where it's just for Liverpool and not like a generic one that Nike kind of do. Like, they have that certain template and everyone kind of just has it to just change the colour. But I don't know, like I saw that picture today. If that is the kit, I'm not that deviled, but you know, it's growing. I'm not blown away, but my first impressions, they're kind of easy at the moment. I'm warming to it a little bit.
Paul, looking at the pictures of that kit, in the embroidery, I can see like what sort of looks to me a bit like a liver bird in the embroidery, but whatever it is, I quite like that pattern in the embroidery. The liver bird JR was talking about, are you impressed with the fact that it's that sort of printed on liver bird, or would you prefer the sewn on one?
It's giving it a bit of individuality, isn't it? Because, you know, shout out to Ryan. He was saying Nike is a bit of a juice kit, and we want to be individual, don't we? So it's nice to have that little touch. I'm just thinking about it from the money side. Do you know what I mean? It's a lot of money for us. When football gets back, it'll increase our transfer power. And the positive for the kit, it's a nice red. That makes sense. Like we've had some reds in the past that hasn't got that sort of like scare factor. This is a nice deep red like the last couple we've had, and I think under the lights at Anfield that makes a big difference. It looks classy and it looks powerful. The colour, anyway.
Yeah, to me the kit's grown on me a bit, man. Like I said, I like the embroidery in the shirt. What looks like a live bird. I can't be sure. I haven't seen full pictures of it yet. Not too keen on the green, but you know what? I'll be honest with you. For me, a kit's a kit. And it's a uniform, as Ryan likes to call it, and I will buy it and support the club regardless of what kit they put out, to be fair.
Has anyone got an idea what it could mean, the green? It's a bit random, isn't it?
Yeah,
the green.
Man. Why? There's got to be a reason behind it, but it's not. I'm not feeling that. But it will grow, but man, I was so looking forward to Nike, and now I feel disappointed.
A little bit let down.
Yeah, massively.
They could redeem themselves with the other strips, maybe.
Say again, Sini?
I said they could redeem themselves with the other strips, maybe.
Yeah, because I've seen some images.
We've already seen it, haven't we?
I've seen some images of a goalkeeper's top.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, it's like a goalkeeper's top, which looks quite nice still. So that is the one, then they might have redeemed themselves already. Do you know what I mean?
I bet you the training kit is sick. I bet you any money. The training kit is banging.
It better be, bro. Like,
No,
That's Nike's forte, isn't it? Tracksuits and big puffer jackets.
Winter jackets.
PSG and other teams have had some sick puffer jackets. They even do sleeping bags. Do you remember?
Anyway, listen, let's move on swiftly because you know what Zoom's like, boy. Yeah, I mean, they might cut us off soon, boy, at 40 minutes. So let's move on. Let's talk about the return to football, because I'm hearing the return date has been set for like June the 13th, which would mean a mini pre-season to get underway in the next week or so, maybe. Does a June the 13th return look likely, Sam?
Basing on when they should be back in training, which is what, in about 2.5 weeks' time, that's realistic if they get back to training. Bearing in mind, 4 clubs have gone back already, even though it's obviously segregated training. I think mid-June is realistic. That gives us 6 weeks to finish the season.
What 4 clubs have gone back?
I believe it's Arsenal is one of them.
West Ham's another.
West Ham's gone back. Who else?
Perhaps, I think.
I'm not even sure.
Aren't they training separately though? The players are not interacting.
They are, but that's obviously the first stages, and then they're going to go into small groups once they get the government okay. But the fact that clubs are going back in any form at all, it's got to be positive for us, man. It's got to be positive that football is going to be on its way back soon.
Yeah.
Sini, Paris have had their league cancelled until September. The Dutch league, I don't know how you say it, has been cancelled as well. Do you think that could happen to us?
No, too much money involved, if I'm honest. I think with those leagues, you know who's going to win them for the next 5 years already. Generating the same sort of revenue that the Premier League is, and the amount of money that's involved is just too big for them to be able to cancel the Premier League, in my opinion. Arsenal still got direct debits coming out for Pepe. They can't afford to lose out on the money. Do you know what I mean? So it's not going to happen. Too much money, man. Money talks. Money talks.
I heard they got a payment holiday.
Well, I don't think it's gonna happen. It's just too much money. Too much money. Money talks. Money talks.
Too much money. Too much.
You're fully confident about it, yeah?
Oh yeah. I think anyone that is that wants the season to be, I don't know.
Let me see what I've got.
It's kicking off. Stop going wow.
Yo, we're back.
I close the door.
Keeping it 100.
Was I gonna say to you? Do you know what? Yeah. Hold on a minute. My guy Bajan Bruce, are you still in the building?
I'm still here, man. I just listening to all you talking, man.
I thought you disappeared, man. You're not, I can't see you on the bottom of my screen. That's why I didn't think you were here, bro.
No, I'm there, bro. I'm there, man. I'm there. I'm just listening in, man.
Well, anyway, listen, let me come to you anyway, man. Do you think we can be denied this title? Do you think there's any way we will not be handed this title?
Nah. Of everyone, I feel Sam's energy every now and again in the group, like he's a bit shook and that, thinking that we're not gonna get this thing. It would be mad for us not to get this, Sam. Honestly, it's gonna happen. The only thing that burns me a bit, guys, yeah, I'll be real, is someone somewhere really pressed the red button, like, no, Liverpool are gonna win this thing. There's no way of stopping this. They pushed the red button, set this virus on us, yeah, and now we're not going to get it how we're supposed to get it. You know, when you win it and you're at wherever we are, whether it been at Liverpool, whether it been at Anfield or wherever it was that we're going to pick up this trophy, it's going to be taken away from us. So now it's a good thing in some ways. I'm telling you now, it's going to spur the team on to go on next season and win the league again. But to get it in a way where hopefully by that time you have fans at games and all of that. But they won't deny us the title. I'm telling you, it won't happen.
But that's the thing. Has the gloss been taken off of this title? What's happened?
I feel so. I feel so.
I think the gloss will only be taken off if you don't win it. Fully with the playing games.
Yeah, we have to play the games.
Yeah, without playing the game, because that will always be remembered as the title that we was given to us, and that's what everyone else is going to say.
But in saying that, at the end of the day, when you're sitting on 25s, not even 22s, you know, when you're sitting on 25s, no one can talk to you. I'm sorry. There's no denying it. Where we are right now, everyone just says, all right, cool. You have to have the league. But I don't care. There's a feeling that you get when you have to get that guard of honor, when you come out at someone else's yard, and I want all that. We're not going to get that. We're not actually going to really get that. We'll get it, but with no one there. Yeah. They kind of killed it with this thing, man.
But Slim.
Yeah.
Huh?
Wait, check this out, yeah? One thing that, you're saying about the shine coming off. The one thing that kept me, not really realistic, just chilled with it, is the fact that we got the 25 points. So, like you said, no one can chat to you in terms of fans.
Exactly.
And the other thing is, there's like a global pandemic going on. So, it's a cliche, but this puts in perspective. You know what I mean? So
I'm going to stop you there, Paul. I don't want to hear there's bigger things going on. We all understand, that there's a virus, and we understand the severity of the virus. I myself haven't been one that's been affected by it, right? You know what I'm saying? So I understand the severity of the virus, but I tell you what, when it comes to life, there's real life and then there's football. And when things get in the way of football, it's a problem. So I'm not dismissing the virus, but I'm saying the fact that our season's been stopped and the momentum's been halted and they're going to go back and play behind closed doors, that has to take some of the shine off of it. And I mean, even for the players, can you imagine playing these last, whatever, was it 9 games or whatever it is, with no fans? Guard of honor, only noise you're hearing is the clapping of the opposition team.
I can only talk for myself, maybe the players and that, but for me, I'm sitting basically with that 25 points in the bank. Do you know what I mean? It's an ISA. I'm going to cash that.
No, but you know what, yeah?
So you see when it's relaxing.
But you see when the season goes back and they start playing behind closed doors, are you telling me that they were at Anfield we can win the game at Anfield? How are they going to stop the fans outside making noise, bro? Tell me how they're going to stop that.
It's going to be like it was in Italy, wasn't it? Isn't it in Italy they were trying to play behind closed doors at the beginning of this virus, and fans turned up at games outside and made loads of noise. And you're right, JR. You're right. It's going to be very hard to police that situation. To keep, what Scousers are like. It's going to be very hard to police that situation and stop people from being outside. But that's what I said about life and football. They're two different things, in my opinion. Do you know what I mean? Football is a real big passion, and once people hear football's back on, they will be outside those doors. You're right, Jay.
They will be outside. Trust me, they'll be outside, and the players will hear the fans outside. Trust me. Believe that. They will hear them outside.
Ain't there a danger of, if that happens, and the venues are accessible by any group of fans or whatever, ain't there a danger of them saying, look, locking up and saying, look, we can't do this anymore?
What?
That's a reality.
That is a reality, but I'm sure they got contingencies in plan to try and, limit these things happening. Maybe locking off roads, having police cordons and these things. Yeah, but that's what they're going to have to do.
That's resources, bro. That's resources, and we're going to look bad. Football's going to look bad if that happens. The only way I can see.
But Sam, let me just jump in there quickly. Sam, you said that's resources. Every match day, there's resources to police a stadium. So
so it's going. There's going to be more highlight. Everything. The focus is going to be on football. Yeah, for positive or negative, for whatever. Yeah. But if any resources are taken away from the NHS right now, and they're put towards football, and anything negative happens, football is going to get blamed, and then it will get locked. Yeah, so
MP Sam
sorted. and being done is if it's in one venue, and that's got to be St George's.
Football won't start back.
There's a lot of people, man.
Football won't start back until the NHS, the stress of the NHS has gone down. So when they call that curve is dropping down and the numbers coming in are at a level that they think is acceptable, they won't start thinking about football again.
JR, that's a good point. You know what? I think the only thing that can actually stop us, because if the question Slim asks is, is that enough time? I think, yeah, it looks like things are steadying down and shops are reopening. They're going to do it steady, right? That's 6 weeks away. However, they keep talking about this second wave that could, or even it sounds like will come in. I don't know the way I've stopped kind of listening now, but it's supposed to be a second wave thing when, you know, you let more people socialize. That could stop it. It's like Sam said, it's perceptions. Do you know what I mean? Like the Premier League don't want to look bad. They don't want to look like ultra capitalists. You know what I mean? Sort of playing on people's misery. But at the same time, people want to watch football. They've been talking about it. Like anything on TV now will be a distraction.
Mental health, bro. Trust me.
Wow. You know what? I've actually
putting it in neutral venues.
Hold on, Sini first. Go say again, Sini.
No, they were talking about putting in neutral venues, so that might actually reduce the gatherings that we're talking about. If you're playing a final game at Anfield, etc., all teams will be playing at grounds in the Midlands that are neutral. So if you think of it that way, if they're at neutral grounds, that should reduce the number of people that would come and gather outside of their home grounds. So if we played at Anfield, you know what would happen. But if we're not at Anfield, yeah, you still might get some people, but nowhere near the numbers there would be if you were playing at Anfield. So that's probably why they're discussing those measures to keep those games restricted to 3 or 4 stadiums that are in close proximity in the Midlands, to prevent that sort of thing happening.
Yeah.
Go on, Leroy.
Yeah.
Leroy, go on. What did you want to say?
Well, one of the things I was going to say was, seriously, I don't know about you lot, Slim, I know you'll agree with me. Our club is the only club that could ever pull off something get something like this happen to them. Every other team, Leicester, you know, Blackburn, all these teams had played a thing that any time we come to win this thing, Christmas, we're at top, something mad happens. But it couldn't happen this time, we're too far ahead. All of a sudden now, they push this red button, Wuhan, boom, this happened. Guys, seriously, I know you lot can film, only us, this mad stuff, only happens to our team, ever.
Hey,
We
Leroy.
51 nil up against someone and somehow, huh?
Leroy, I've got it on good authority that Bill Gates was Man United.
Okay. Well, boy, that would bloody explain something, man. And then just to pick up on some other bits, I think me and my boy were talking about this today, with the footballers taking flack. I don't know if you've got this down, but I don't like it. I don't like what's happening to footballers as such. I think it's dead, man. I think it's
What
dead.
do you mean? What are you talking about their wages? About people asking them to take a pay cut, X, Y, and Z?
Yeah, man. Using these men as scapegoats and that. I think that's dead, man.
Them government, man. Why them MPs? Why they not taking no cuts, bro? On their big wages.
Come on, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they are. I think Piers Morgan asked him live on air, is he going to take a pay cut? He said, no, I'm going to work all the hours under the sun. And he said, well, we expect you to do that anyway. Do you know what I mean? They said, why are you isolating it towards footballers when there's so many other wealthy, rich individuals? You're just targeting one group of individuals. Do you know what I mean? Because it's easy.
You know what?
Well, I was asked a question about them. Do you know what I mean?
They were two separate issues that got kind of conflated there. The first one, which is where the footballers are getting this for no reason, was that Matt Cock. He went and dug out the footballers, right?
Yeah.
But literally no reason apart from that political thing. They say they throw a dead cat on the table to deflect you. So he deflected from his own shoddy performance, and he thought, let me just go at footballers. But the original thing that I kind of was like, well, I was quite annoyed was when Liverpool originally were going to furlough their non-playing staff. You know what I mean? And then we turned it around. So that got kind of conflated. So I reckon there'll be a lot of people who are not listening properly, who probably linked what Matt Hancock said with what Liverpool and other clubs were going to do, but it's not really the same. You know what I mean? Matt Hancock has done that for political stuff to get because like you said, what about the bankers and stuff?
Yes.
I mean,
The millionaires. Why don't they take a cut? Why don't they give us something?
Come on, man.
There's enough rich people with enough money that could dig a lot of people out of a hole. Do you know what I mean? I mean, you look at
100.
Richard Branson and the fortunes a guy like him has. Like, seriously, the money he's gonna lose in this pandemic. This pandemic is like be like us losing a £5 note, and yet they have the cheek to dig out footballers. Yeah, I agree with you. I wasn't really feeling that. I don't understand why people who have worked hard from a young age to get where they are in life, to earn a good crust, are being penalised just because they have a talent that pays them a lot of money. It's not fair. Do you know what I mean? But you know what? Footballers are always going to be scapegoats when it comes to these things. It's just part and parcel of the job these days. You know what I mean? I just hope that as footballers, they get together and they stand united and they take a pay cut because they want to take a pay cut, not because they're being forced to take a pay cut. Secondly, I think all of this highlight on their wages. Who's highlighting all the good work that they do in the communities, charities? Nobody ever highlights that stuff. If you're not into football, you wouldn't hear about this stuff. It's only because we're into football, we know the kind of things that these players do. And I just think it's disgusting how they just jump on them. But anyway,
there you go.
Let's leave that one there. When it comes to, obviously we're talking about the shine and losing the gloss. Does anybody care about the stats anymore? Does anybody still want to be Centurions?
I don't.
Yes.
yeah.
I want it all. I want it all. I want it all. If it's there for the taking, if it's there for the taking, I want it all.
Not anymore.
Simple.
If we're gonna play the rest of the games, the points are there for the taking, aren't they? I mean, we don't know the format. I'm assuming it has to be 38 games still. So yeah. Go and win all the games.
If we finish the season, I want it all. Simple.
Sam, you're saying no. You're saying no. I can see you shaking your head, Sam.
Listen, I'm shook. I'm actually shook about what I feel like is happening. Like, it's stressing me out. Like, I wish I had Leroy's confidence. Yeah, obviously he's been praying differently to me because I still don't. I feel like it's being ripped from us. You know, so therefore I don't care about no records. I'm not interested. Yeah, give me those 6 points. Yeah, and if they want to cancel the season, then cool, because we won the title. Yeah, I'm not interested. Yeah, all of them records. Yeah, like you said, we're going to be galvanized because it's the glory that we should have got this season. We're not going to get it now, regardless. So we'll be galvanized next season. That's fine. But now, 6 points. That's it. I'm not interested. Yeah, I don't even care if we get 6 points and lose the next 5 games. Yeah, I don't care anymore at all because. For me, getting that acclaim now, what does it mean? How is it going to be celebrated? It's not going to be because we're under a cloud of what's happening in society. So yes, it's going to be nice that we can watch football again, but realistically, we're not going to get the acclaim we deserve. So even if we got 102 points this season, it's not going to be remembered as the season that Liverpool were the most successful Premier League champion ever. It will be the season cut short and interrupted because of the pandemic and so on and so forth. It's going to
because of
So just give me the points and I'm out. I'm done. No more.
Yeah, I feel what you're saying, Sam. I can understand that point of view. For me, personally, I'm not interested in the season being played out anymore. To be honest, I'd be happy if they cancelled the season and made us champions. I know that's not going to happen because of all the relegation stuff, and blah blah blah.
Can't do it,
yeah, no, I get that, but I just think like the shine has totally been taken off of football at the minute, man, with what's going on and how it's been suspended.
Yeah, but you know what? Your mind might change when like things start improving and stuff starts opening up and football comes
But there's
back.
not going to be a parade. There's not going to be a parade. So
yeah, I know there's not going to be a parade. We just have to backdate it, innit? Next year we do a double parade.
yeah. I like that.
Yeah. But this year socially in gatherings is cancelled, bro. Like we got to be realistic. The gatherings that there was going to be like 1 million people there.
They were talking about no crowds at football matches until possibly 2022. They're saying lots of different stuff. Yeah, because remember, all this stuff comes from, you've got that Professor Chris Whitty and his people But also you've got different universities and different professors who are doing their own studies all the time around the world, and then this stuff gets collated by different governments and stuff. So it's like I'm the prime minister. I go, you know what? I like Professor Sini's, but we're gonna go with what Sini said. Do you know what I mean? Or we're gonna go with what JR said, and that's how it works. That's how it works. So just just what, like you said, get the fucking title in, get the title, put it in the trophy cabinet. That league table will say Liverpool champions.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
I guess in the grand scheme of things, that's all that really matters, really, isn't it? Getting that gold C next to your name, innit?
Yeah, we need it, because I was thinking, we joked about it before, but the more you think about it, there could be witchcraft at play. It could be real witchcraft, because this doesn't make sense. It doesn't make any sense.
Leroy, what have you been doing?
Really?
Leroy, I know you've been on them beads and stirring that pot. What have you been up to, mate?
What kind of beads you talking about?
You know them beads that
Some
Big
fucking
Sean, them beads that Big Sean sells.
Hey, listen, it's not going to
Did you-
happen this season. Though.
Leroy, did you mess up one of the prayers?
You mad?
Did you fuck up the spell?
Listen.
Backfired, man.
Hey, Bubaye, I did not mess up anything.
No, it's not a Bubaye. See? That means global pandemic. Fucking Leroy.
Whereas you expect me to say I am Bajan, man. I ain't fucking African. No, man. I expect you to get that wrong.
Man. This West Indian juju is no good. Need the real African.
Hey, I'm going to go see the Haitian niggas, man. Shit.
All right, so listen, boys. Obviously, there's been no football and stuff. Have you been keeping an eye on how the team have been keeping themselves occupied and what kind of things they've been up to? Have you seen the team yoga classes that have been happening?
Yeah, I've seen it still on the Liverpool Insta. They post it up, I think, when they do it 2-3 times a week, and it's a good insight to kind of see like how they really are behind the scenes. It kind of just like us here having a laugh and stuff like that. That's how they kind of just normal people engage in having a laugh, still getting by. That it's good to see, and it keeps the fans intact and linked with them and not distant kind of thing. The connection's still. I mean, when I see stuff like that, I think, you know what? Yeah, I can't wait for football to come back. Like, when I didn't see anything for a while, to be fair, I thought this, like, in my mind, the season's done. It was just done, And then I see a couple of things, like, on TV, there might be a run back of the season so far. I'm like, you know what? That minute, gas. Wait. So, yeah. No. It's good to see. It's good to see them doing the yoga classes and other bits, but yeah, it needs to hurry up and get back, man. What
I quite like is the fact that sorry, man, got something popped up on my screen. I quite like the fact the unity has still carried on between the team with the team yoga in the morning, and you can see the banter between the players. They're talking about each other's hairstyles and stuff like that, growing in that. And I just think it's good to see the bond is still there, even though obviously they're isolating and probably haven't seen each other since, God knows when. Do you know what I mean? So I'm happy that if we do get playing again, the chemistry is still going to be intact.
Slim, as a quick one, I've read a few articles here and there and some quotes from footballers who were saying, the mid-table teams might not really push too hard, and some people generally might be scared. Some people might live with their parents, etc., or maybe especially like the foreign guys. But I'm hoping that just being out there, being able to exercise and live your life might lead to some decent games still, even though it's behind closed doors.
Could lead to some interesting games still. Yeah, but I can't help but feel a stadium that's used to seating between the smallest stadium between, say, 20,000 to the largest stadium in the league, 60, 70,000. I can't see how that's not going to affect the players, like, mentally playing. I mean, how do you get yourself up for a game when you haven't got that crowd cheering, roaring? Isn't it going to be more like training, like like a behind the doors friendly for them.
Do you remember
No, to
actually?
be
Do you remember
fair-
when? Go on.
No, I was gonna say, to be fair, football for most people started off like that, so it's not nothing somebody's not used to. I know, obviously, once you reach the pinnacle, that's what you used to week in, week out. But everyone started off playing football without a crowd. Do you know what I mean? So it's the love of the game. If you can't play just because the crowd's not there, then really, are you a footballer? I'm not saying that you don't get given that extra 10% because we know what the fans do for our team, but I think to have in your mindset that you can't perform without the crowd being there, that's a weakness in your mentality, I would say.
Sure.
Good point.
Yeah, because I was speaking to when I spoke to Heskey, I said to him about games behind closed doors and that, and he was like, "Pardon me?
Speaking to who,
Oh,
mate?
just some footballer." And
Did you get Emma? Is that what you said?
pardon?
Emma Ivanhoe Heskey, him, that guy.
That guy.
Oh.
That guy. So yeah. Don't worry, it's all good. It's happening. Yeah. So he was saying that he went to a game, England game, and it was behind closed doors. I said, "How was it?" He said it was dead. He said it was horrible. It was a horrible thing. Like he doesn't. It's just hard. Even he was like, it's just hard to get up for. It was dead. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're facing. So it's up to the management of what the teams to really make their players be professional and knock down tools.
Hence
To
why
me-
Sam was go on, Leroy.
Nah, to me, to be fair, just to add to it, for me to be fair, I do think, I hear what Sini's saying, but overall, it is dead. If you're in there, to take that on a serious level is hard. I mean, for Liverpool players, it's a bit different because they're seeing it as get over the finish line. There's something to go for, innit? But if it's like another man, it's like, what? The ground, it's like, it's all, I think you get more people at a flipping youth team game than you're going to have in these. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? So it's like, come on, man. These are men that are like now at that level. When you're at that level, even when you're playing semi-pro and that, you expect to have people there in that regard. So it's different if you're playing like a little warm-up thing. But this isn't no warm-up. This is Premier League, man.
Hence why what Sam was saying earlier probably applies more now than ever. Just getting those 6 points to secure the title by any way, shape or form and then be done with it. I think if the season was still in normal flow, we'd be like, yeah, we want to win every game going to the end. But I think now it's just to secure the title and then keep it stepping because it's going to be very hard, like you said, to get up for games when you're used to playing so many people behind you. But it's going to be interesting times to see what actually goes down. Because I think they're planning a May return, aren't they, to training? So,
Oh, Slim.
You never know, though.
Do you feel that the lack of crowds might be a bit of a leveler when it comes to the actual level of the teams that are playing each other?
No. Let me jump in here.
I'm not asking you for well done. Yeah.
Man.
In terms of the ability of the players, because I mean, let's say we were going to the Etihad. It's probably the toughest game of the season left. Yeah, and they haven't got their semi-decent crowd roaring them on.
Makes no difference.
Go to Goodison Park, for example. Is it going to be a leveler and have a real effect on the actual results, having no crowd?
Do you know what, right? I don't know if it's going to be a leveler because at the same time, there's no crowds. But I guess in the back of the players' minds, they need to be aware that people will be watching. These games will be live. And there's also talks for 3 o'clock kickoffs to be streamed live as well because it's behind closed doors. So there's an element of people will be watching. You know what I mean? So I reckon people will still try and give it their all. But a leveler, I'm not sure because ability is ability. And let's be honest, Liverpool are streets ahead of every single team in the league before we stopped with suspended. Sorry, so. I don't think any amount of crowd or lack of amount of crowd can level that. Do you know what I mean? Make talent equal.
Yes. Yo, Slim, I think the crowd is actually the one that's the leveler in the first place. So you're playing away from home. Because I don't know if we've done it in a podcast before, but when we were discussing the possible end of football because of coronavirus, and I was saying that I noticed...
Again, please? The what virus?
What did I say? COVID-19.
I have no idea. I have no.
COVID-19.
Nora.
Corona.
Nora.
That's probably a distortion. Anyway, let me finish my point. Listen, Dave, check it out, yeah. I remember watching Borussia Dortmund, Paris Saint-Germain versus Dortmund second leg, and this is the same thing I saw with a couple other behind closed door games. With no crowd there, you're basically at training, and the best footballers are the ones who get in the first team, who are the best players at training. You know what I mean? They find it easy, and Neymar was taking an absolute mick. Mbappe, the way they were, and also you got to see how fast they fizzed the ball to each other because the microphones on the side of the pitch, aren't they? So you hear like boof, boof, you hear them like sprinting and the physicality of it. Liverpool will smash teams with no crowd there to put us off like an away game. Even in a funny way, even to make us nervous if we're at home and it's like, we might have dropped a couple of points and we're still trying to win the league. Having no crowd there, Liverpool will smash teams. And same with City and Chelsea. Like, anyone who's slightly below you is going to get murked.
You're predicting big scorelines, yeah? Big scorelines.
Yeah, it's because, like, your throw and goal is eerily quiet. You're going to put it in the bottom corner. You're putting it in the bottom corner. You're putting it in the bottom corner like it's training. I've had so many.
What are you saying, Paul? We're going to smash it. What are you saying? We're going to smash it then. We're going to play really well, yeah?
Yeah. Imagine Mane through goal in a silent pitch.
Might take the piss though. He might try and take the piss.
Do you know what? JR, you make a good point. I was going to say, do you think because it's a closed behind doors game, we're going to see a bit more showboating now?
Bro, if you're talking about it like training, yeah, some players in training are amazing when it comes to matches they're dead and vice versa.
Yeah.
So I can see. It depends. It all comes down to the management and how the players are prepared. I can't see us doing it, to be fair, because Klopp won't have it. He'll take the man off. But the other teams in the mid-table, they got players that are rogue players and they're running the change room. They're gonna do what they want, bro, on the pitch. From what I think,
I'd love to see some showboat. I'd love to see some showboating on the pitch. I mean, I'm a sucker for Soccer AM. Like when they show like all the skills and that and nutmegs and all that. I love all of that. So I'm here for it. As long as it's not our team, it doesn't cost us anything. And like you said, those rogue players in those mid-table teams, cool. Talking of mid-table teams, yeah, Manchester United, yeah. Do you think once the season does get back underway, do you think they can make the top four?
Yeah.
You think?
Yeah.
Do you know what I think? Do you know what I think might hurt United though? The rhythm that they started to pick up, yeah, is bust up now.
Sini said Corona can hurt United, you know.
Wow.
Everyone's there, you know.
Wow. No regard.
Go on, Leroy. Carry on.
Now I'm just saying, their rhythms bust, man. Corona bust their dance, man.
But bro, they got Bruno Fernandes. Didn't you hear?
They can have Bruno, boy. We can have Bruno.
But you know what? With United, they're in the same position we were last time, and it's just the way life is. If you want to go for life, the only way is up. They've got nothing to lose really. Their manager said he wants to play attacking football and fast football. United DNA. All he's got to do is keep telling them to attack and us with a bit of luck. You know what I mean? I think they still need a good few players. But I'll tell you what. I won't say worried. Nothing worries me about it. But just as a interested observer, their fans have been quite loyal there. Their fans have been quite loyal to him, and I think he's kind of repaid him. I think something's happening there a little bit. I don't know what it is. It could just be a little honeymoon period, but I don't know. I think something's happening at United. I just see parallels with us.
What, like as in with Klopp?
I don't see that.
Yeah,
I don't see
go
that.
back to Paul. Can you go back to Paul, please?
With Jon.
Paul.
Yeah.
Paul. Sorry, I just want to. So you think something magical's happening there, like what happened?
No, not magical. Not magical. I think they can. I think they've got more about them than say other teams that seem to be getting established in the top 4, not us obviously, because they've still got that stadium. They've still got loyal fans, and they've still got players like Rashford and Martial. They just need a bit of luck, don't they?
Leeds had that stadium.
Yeah.
Leeds. What happened to Leeds? I'm
No,
not saying
I
it's going
think
to
they
happen to
still
United.
got their stadium, like 75, 80,000, whatever it is.
What
Listen,
I'm
I'm
saying
not
is, what
trying
happened
to-
to them? What I'm saying is, what happened to them other big clubs? Not going to happen to them. But what happened to us? I think can happen to them. I think they're going to be in the wilderness like Moses for a while, bro.
Hey, listen,
How long
I
have
swear
they been
down,
in the
bro.
wilderness for now?
I swear down. I swear down. And I'm telling you now. Ollie's Moses, and he ain't gonna get to see no promised land. So let's just be real about that, bro. Real. I'm getting biblical out here. What do you mean? Don't ever say that, you know. Them man are gonna feel the pain, bro. You think I ain't felt pain? They're gonna get their time is coming, bro. We had
Well,
that, man.
look, they're not going to win the league for at least 10, 15 years anyway. I'm talking
Good.
about.
God is good, though.
I can see them being competitive for top 4 places anyway. Definitely.
Okay, fair enough. Fair play.
Chelsea
Don't
were on
want
a good
United
run.
getting fourth, man.
Chelsea were on a good run.
Don't want that at all.
Chelsea were on a good run before we got stopped. You know, I think they were like 6 points ahead of. You know.
No, Chelsea are only 3 points ahead of them.
You sure?
Yeah.
Therefore. All right, cool. You looking at the table, yeah?
Either way, with Chelsea, but either way with Chelsea, when you think about it, Chelsea shouldn't even be battling that right now, considering what they have and what they've spent and everything else. They shouldn't even be in amongst it like that. So they've not done bad.
So we're saying about the race for top 4. Paul thinks Manchester United can make it. Sini just wants them to get coronavirus, and Leroy wants them lost in the wilderness like Moses. But what about the clubs down at the bottom, man? Like, how's this going to affect them and coming back and fighting for their lives in the Premier League? I mean, the momentum, has it gone? How do you get yourself up for a relegation battle after what's happened, man?
I want West Ham relegated.
Yeah, please.
Leroy,
After
we
what
don't want
Karen
that.
Brady said,
Oh.
yeah.
We don't want that.
Leroy, we don't
Not
want
sure
that.
about
Come on,
that.
man.
We don't want that.
Listen,
We don't want that.
I know.
Leroy,
Listen,
we
I
don't
know
want
my
that.
two. Hold on. I know my 2 nephews play at that club, yeah. But you know what? It'd probably be a good thing for them, to be honest, because when they're Premier League, they might move a bit shady. But listen, that Brady, I wanted to slap her. I wanted to slap her. Oh my God. She said she wanted. No, how dare she? End the league. You know how early she pressed the red button? Nah, man, that's mocking, bro. Later, JR, I know you're with me, bro, because that was mad.
I'm with you, bro. Riding.
Yeah, no, it's crazy.
No, I think she must have thought people was gonna jump on it, and when she realized the backlash was real, she came out and was like, "No, I didn't mean it like that."
No, that was wild from Brady, but I think she was just protecting her own interest. I mean, she weren't thinking about anybody else. She just wants, because I mean, I'm looking at the bottom of the table. West Ham is 16th, are on 27. Watford 27, Bournemouth 27, Villa 25, Norwich 21. So it's not exactly cut and dry down there. Any one of those teams, I mean, Brighton in 15th on 29. Only team that looks mildly sort of safe is Southampton on 34 points. And then above them, Newcastle on 35. So I say anyone from 15th position down can go down at the minute. So she was just out for her best interest, which is fair enough. But like I said, if you're in a relegation battle, how do you now keep yourself motivated for it through this whole period and then get back on the pitch and actually do the business to keep your club up, man? That's going to be tough.
You know what, though? Part of it as well, if you think about it, when you're away from something, you're hungry. Do you know what I mean? It can make you hungry. It can have the opposite effect to what we're thinking. I know the crowds and stuff ain't going to be there, but the moment you take away something, i.e. McDonald's is closed, the first day it opens, the queues are going to be for like 4 miles back. Do you know what I mean? Because people have been without, and it's the same, like for even like kids now, us that do get involved in football and things that we normally do, everyone's itching to get back to what they want to do. And that's what footballers do. They want to play football. So I think at the same time, as much as there's other factors, I think that when they do go back, they could actually just be hungry just to be happy and be out there to actually socialize and do what they love doing, what it is that they're paid to do. I think that anyway, relegation, you're talking about playing with your own money and your own career as well. So if you haven't got interest in your own career, then you shouldn't really be playing football anyway.
Well said, Sini. Well said. No, well said. Like, good points, bro. You make excellent points, man. But trust me, man. It's true. They should be able to get up for it. Who was that?
Hello.
Go on, JR.
Oh.
You're there,
Were you
bro.
going to say something?
Yeah. Like, for me, I think it comes down to. Why are you laughing for, cuz?
It's camera 7, JR.
All right. Listen, yeah. For me, I think it comes down to the management and how well you're preparing your team. Because for me, I've always said it. I think Norwich are going to stay up. Man is looking at me like I'm mad. I just got a feeling Norwich are going to stay up. Bro, Norwich. Record. I say Norwich. I have a good.
Everyone said after today, yeah. Wow.
Yeah, you're not laughing at me. Yeah? Right.
No, you said knowledge. It's the way you said that.
I said Norwich.
He said knowledge. Knowledge.
No, serious. It all comes down to how they prepare. It all comes down to how they prepare.
Performing shit.
Hey, boy, stop. Let the man speak, man. Come on.
You're cutting out, so I can't even hear you. Look. But I think Norwich, to be fair. Norwich
No, fair enough, JR. You've got it on record. You say Norwich are going to beat the drop, man. Like, it's a hard slog back. I mean, they're 4 points off of Villa, who are still in the relegation. There's 4, 5, 7.
They knock the ball about, but they don't score.
JR, who do you think's going down then? Who's your 3 picks?
Bournemouth, Villa, and give me the other clubs down there again, please. Apart from Norwich.
Watford, West Ham, and Brighton.
Villa, Bournemouth, and either West Ham or Watford.
Fair enough. Anyone else? Anyone else want to give their predictions?
Norwich.
I can't guess.
Norwich is definitely going down. I know that much.
Who?
I think followed by Norwich are definitely going down.
Yeah.
Followed by Villa, and I think I would throw Watford in the mix.
I think Watford under Nigel Pearson look half decent. I don't think they'll go down, to be honest with you. I think it'll be Norwich, Villa, and I do think it'll be what it is, Bournemouth, Villa and Norwich. I do think that's what it'll be. And you know what? For a while, Bournemouth had a little place in my little toe where you're like, Bournemouth. But like, I think it's gone stale under Eddie Howe. I think he's done his time now. I think he needs to move on. I think they need something else to take them to that next level. Do you know what I'm saying? I know he got promotion upon promotion, but it's gone stale for them in the Premier League, and I think it's time for them to go, to be fair. So I won't be sad to see them go. Norwich, though, I will be sad to see leave because, like JR was saying, they knocked the ball about really well. That Daniel, was that his name? Daniel, whatever the hell however you say his surname. He's Farquhar, like in Shrek, yeah. Yeah. No, he's got them playing some really good football, man. And for me personally, it's the kind of football I'd want to see in the Premier League. I mean, I'd happily see Burnley take their place. Do you know what I mean? With their knock it and run football, man. It's fucking ridiculous. But
Slim, they got 2 good fullbacks for one. Is it like Max Aarons? Is it?
Max Aarons is good.
Yeah.
And then another fullback as well. Both sides, I think they're quite decent.
Yeah, they're not bad all over the park, man. They're not bad. I mean, when we played them, everybody knew about Todd Cantwell, but I actually saw a player in him when he played against us, and I think anyone that plays against us, that's the test of a player. If you can play well against us, then you've got something about you, because obviously the way we're playing this season, blah blah blah. And he had an excellent game against us, despite him being on the losing side.
You know what happened? What happened is when Pookie started playing like his name, that's when it went. That's when it flopped.
Them kind of dad jokes, Paul. Stop it, man.
Come on! I'm still living in 1997.
I could tell with that glass in your hand. What's wrong with you? Oh dear. Anyway, boys, listen. Flipping, we've done an hour, man. So I gotta wrap this up, man.
Cool.
Yeah, I know, guys. We've been gone a hot minute because nobody knew how long this thing was gonna last, and like most of you know, at the beginning of this thing, I actually got sick myself, so I was wiped out for a while myself. So hence why the podcast has been on the back burner. But we are back, and this is going to be a weekly occurrence, this Zoom call, until we get back to normality and we can get back to our beautiful new studio. But yeah, as always, man, I've been your boy Slim, and we've had Sam with us for once.
Peace.
JR, as always. Come on, Professor Paul. Yeah, where's my boy Sini? Fire for them. Toot, toot.
Come on.
North Wheezy in the house and that. And of course, boy, Bajan Bruce.
Bajan, there's only one Bajan Bruce, man.
Yeah, man. Until the next time, man. We out.
Cool.
Man.
Peace.
Hey.
Take care, boys.
Peace.
Peace.